Yes, the Twins finally signed somebody. Oh, it's not the guy that you wanted? Oh. As you can see here, Jeff Passan was first to report that the Twins have signed J.A. Happ, left-handed veteran starting pitcher, stress on the veteran, and John Heyman had it first that it was an $8 million deal. I find it pretty interesting that was actually exactly what Craig Edwards of Fangraphs predicted that J. Happ would get in free agency. So interesting. Some people are calling this a high number for Happ. I think that's certainly debatable, but worth pointing out that that's what Craig Edwards of Fangraphs had predicted he would get. But I actually brought up Happ before this signing. This was on the 14th. I'd mentioned that, hey, this is a guy who had given up 45 home runs over the past 2 seasons, but his expected home runs was 32.8, and only 30 of his home runs of those 45 would have gone out at Target Field. Of course, he's not going to pitch all of his games at Target Field, but and then just throwing that out there, everybody knows that's my code for this is my prediction that the Twins are most definitely going to sign this guy. It's a stone cold lock. So where did I get those numbers? If you're interested in finding those, here is J. Happ's Baseball Savant page, and they now have home run metrics toward the bottom here. And as you can see here, expected home runs and expected home runs by park. And they have the last 2 years here. And the other thing I want to show is where that sort of puts him among the rest of pitchers in baseball over these past 2 seasons. So again, if you saw, I went to leaderboards and then pitching home runs. If you're kind of curious into getting into some more things into Baseball Savant, here's some stuff right here. So here is 2019. And the home runs actually given up versus expected home runs. J. Happ was second to only Justin Verlander. He gave up 35 homers, and it was expected of 25.7. So one of the guys hurting most by that. And then in 2020, this past season, again, he was among the leaders in all of baseball. Third, he gave up 10. The expected was 7.1. So 2.9 difference. So this is a guy who's been hurt by pitching, mostly in Yankee Stadium, by pitching in the AL East parks. Just kind of something to throw out there. He's 38 years old. He's a left-handed pitcher, so kind of you can think of him as a Rich Hill type with more of a established record of health. He's more of a guy you can count on for innings than Rich Hill is. And I'm not too surprised that the Twins ended up signing Happ because they actually had expressed interest in him last time he was a free agent when he signed with the Yankees. So not all that surprising to see the Twins circle back to him. I don't expect this to really move the needle with Twins fans. This is a 38-year-old, back of the end starter, back the rotation starter. This isn't somebody who fans were dreaming about or anybody's running out to get his jersey right now or anything. Certainly this will end up being not the biggest move of the Twins off seasons. I can guarantee you that. I've said that this is a good sign. If the Twins are willing to spend $8 million on J. Happ, a back of the rotation starter, this is a great sign of things to come, in my opinion. I don't think that he's going to be their biggest rotation upgrade of the offseason. I really don't. I think whether it be free agency or via trade, that the Twins will add another starter above J. Happ. And let's go back to this. This is my starting pitcher tier list from the last video I recorded. I'll put a link down in the description and up in a card if you want to watch that. And I recorded that specifically for this reason, that I could sort of hold myself accountable when the Twins signed a starting pitcher. So it's funny that it happened so quickly after that, and we can kind of reflect on that. It's so fresh in my mind. And I had J. Happ in this C range. This isn't in order. I was putting these in alphabetical order. So the names in which they're ordered on this list isn't the order that I have them, but the tiers are. So we have the A, B, C, D tier, and then Trevor Bauer's all by himself in that S tier. And I put J. Happ in this C tier along with Brett Anderson, Rick Porcello, and Jose Quintana, who also signed a 1-year, $8 million contract. He went to the Angels. So all these guys, just your sort of very bland veteran starting pitchers who will provide you quality innings and really help establish the floor of your rotation. And the one thing that I did say in that video is I really wasn't interested in that flavor of starting pitcher for this team, because I feel like with Maeda, with Berrios, with Pineda, the floor is pretty well established. I think you can argue Randy Dobnak kind of helps that floor as well. We know Dobnak's not going to be like a top of the rotation guy, but he's going to be able to pitch competent innings. and get you through some ball games. So I didn't really feel like they needed another guy in that mold of a floor establisher, a good guy to provide some quality innings. Happ is definitely that guy. The Twins are a better team today than they were yesterday. Happ makes them better. Just really not my brand of pitcher that I would have been going after. There's maybe some guys even down in the tier lower who I might have been more preferred, just because I think they may have a chance to pitch above their level. And then, of course, anybody above that C tier I would prefer. And Happ's probably a better bet than Taijuan Walker and Garrett Richards. Just based on their respective track records and especially their ability to stay healthy. But I see a lot of potential in those guys. And again, there is no reason to believe that the Twins couldn't sign some more starting pitchers or make trades. So this is a spreadsheet available at twinspayroll.com. If you go there, you can get access to this sheet. And Matthew Taylor put this together, Twins Daily. It's a great resource. And as you can see, he's already updated it. Happ's on here. That $8 million is on here. And right now, the Twins have $94 million, basically $95 million on the books right now. So plenty of space to continue to add. And, that budget of 125, that's a 10% reduction from last season. I don't even know if that is really legit. And this is actually something you can play around with here. And if we say, even if they put together the same payroll they did last year of 138, that's what it would have been. Obviously everything got prorated to 60 games, but that's what they were geared up to before the start of the season. You'd have $43.37 million available still. So tons you can do with that. I do think that we're all guessing at this point, but I think it's more likely that the Twins reach that 138 than it is that they sit at that 125. And again, I think signing Happ for $8 million is a great indication of that, because if they were trying to push the payroll down and get down to this 10% reduction and be at 125, they would have re-signed Rich Hill for $3 million, or re-signed Homer Bailey for, somewhere around there as well. They would have gotten some other much cheaper back of the rotation starter than Happ for $8 million. But thanks for checking this out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. For more Twins talk here on YouTube, please consider subscribing, and we'll talk again soon.